people who are entrepreneurs and friends of mine lose all of their savings, lose all that they had worked hard for in a moment in time by the stroke of a match and a lighter. I saw some of that last night, and I know it's not representative of what really was going on. It was misrepresented, I do believe, in a lot of ways. But we are here tonight. You guys are here before us. God bless you. Thank you. Because of injustice. Can I have a witness here tonight? Injustice. Some people want to hide. Some people want to hurt. And some people want to help. And I trust that you are in the help category.
Yes, sir.
All right? Now, the people who want to hide, well, we're in the middle of a pandemic. They get to say I'm justified doing that. The people who want to hurt, I'm telling you the truth. Whoever they are, and if you're in the crowd tonight, we will find you, because you will not come to Lincoln and burn up our city. You will not take away the stores and the things that people count on because you want to act a fool. Find somewhere else to do that. Better yet, stop it.
Don't do it.
Stop it. All right? Those of you who live here, people who care about this city, people who have grown up here, all right? Do not let somebody come into your city and burn it down. And then leave. And then leave us with the ashes. And not only with the ashes, with the responsibility to pay for the rebuilding. Huh? I'm talking the truth here, I know it.
Yes, you are.
Okay? And so tonight, today, we come here as a people who saw a man that many of us do not know lose his life on the streets of America by the callous, heartless actions of another man. Now, having come from Ferguson and having seen my city burn twice, I know that the guy who gave him third degree has just written another sentence for that city. You can start at first degree and work your way down. But when you start at third degree, you've just said, I don't care. I don't care. George Floyd's life isn't worth even a first degree charge. It's unacceptable. And it's indefensible. The question then becomes, what does it mean for us? But let me say this before I ask Pastor Tremaine to come. And Pam Laam is going to come as well. One of the things we need there's three phases of this process, friends, and let me say it to you clearly. The first is an outcry. We're making the outcry right now. No justice, no peace. That's right. Enough is enough. And Black lives matter. That's the outcry. But the second part of it, friends, is this. Then is the outrage. See, the outrage didn't happen just the other day. This has been going. I've been speaking these same messages for years. Whether it's Freddie Gray or Trayvon Martin, whoever it might be, we've been doing this too long. Too long. And so it's not about an individual as it is about a system. And that system must be torn down. Amen. It's time. My son is here. I got grandkids now. And my mom is from 1932 Fifth Mississippi. My mom can speak to you about walking to school and seeing young black men hung from trees and smelling the stench. Well, guess what? We saw a lynching just the other day. And we are not having it. Enough is enough. It's time for this system to be torn down. Now, how can we do that? We have any number of ways. The first is to mobilize. We got to get together. We have to get together. Not just when we see these things happening. We need to get together beforehand. We need to strategize. We got to figure out what's the best way to tear this thing down. We got to get together. We got to strategize. We have to think. We have to think smarter. That's right. And then we have to take the systems that are in our hands. Listen, if you get tired of the DA in your city, vote him out. You get tired of the people who are not representing you, vote them out.
Get rid of them.
Vote them out. Use the system that you have in your hand and get rid of them. We can do that. But tonight is about making sure that we take care of each one of you. We don't want nobody hurt tonight. Can we agree on that tonight? We don't want nobody hurt. We don't want nobody hurt. We don't want anything burned down. Can we agree on that tonight? Nothing burned down. And we want justice, not only for George Floydd, but for all those who have preceded him. That we will never, ever in America see what we saw with our own eyes. See, years ago you couldn't see any of this, but now we see it with our own eyes, and we still don't get the justice. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. So if you want to hide, go ahead and hide. We're going to take those folks who want to hurt, just let me know who they are. And if you want to help, stay close. Now let me say one more thing. I'd like this to just be about police brutality and all that, but just the other day I lost a friend, a young man named Michael White Magpie. He's a young man I've known since he was a child. Murdered in an alley not very far from here by somebody he knew. And not only somebody he knew, somebody I knew. So a friend killed a friend. And now both of their lives and their families are devastated. So lest we forget, violence is violence. And not only will we not have what we saw the other day, we can't have that either. And so I say to you tonight, we got a long way to go, but justice will prevail. It's time. Now, I'm going to invite Pastor Tremaine from outside to come just to share a word. And again, those of you who are going to be walking, feel free to do that. Pam, wherever you are, Pamela.
Right here.
Okay, stay close. This sister's awesome right here. Give her a hand, Pamela. You want to go now or later? Because you still want to walk, right? Yeah, come on. We'll let you. I know you want to take the folks on the walk. But I want this young lady who got a power. She's small in size, but powerful in voice. Come on, let's give her a hand again. Come on.
Thank you. As you said, my name is Pam Laam. I lost my voice the last time I was protesting until 5 in the morning. But I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming on today. It means so much to me, and it means so much to this community here in Lincoln. We need our voices to be heard. Like he said, enough is enough. I'm only 20 years old. I should not be spending my weekend protesting for Black Lives Matter. This isn't right. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be at home with my family, but here I am advocating for Black rights. It's 2020. What's the issue? What are we doing wrong? We need help. We need allies. So I'm so happy that I'm here to see white people, Mexican people, Asian people. If you're part of the LGBT community, Christian, Muslim, whatever you are, we're here to be allies, and we're here to stand together and to stand strong and to make a difference in this community. We are all different people. We come from all different diversities, backgrounds. We need our voices to be heard, and that's what we need the police department and Lincoln to know. We need people at the Capitol to know. We need our governor to know that enough is enough, and we're tired. We're done. So if this is what we have to do for our voices to be heard, then this is what we're going to do. Because if we continue to bring that violence, they're not going to hear it. They're not going to hear it. I don't know if y'all saw pictures of me on the news, but people label me as a thug. People label me as a juvenile. Different things. Because I'm black, I'm a thug. Because I'm black, I'm a juvenile. I'm none of those things. I'm a smart, educated, young Black woman. That's what I am. I don't want to take up too much time. My voice hurts, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to use it tonight, but really, I just wanted all of y'all to come out here for us to really walk the streets of Lincoln, to hold your signs up high, to use your voice. I want your voices to sound like mine at the end of the day, to be honest. If you don't, then you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong if you don't sound like mine. But please, for all you white people, for all you non-black people, use your voice. That is the #1 power that y'all can do to help us. Please use your voice. They're not hearing us, but if we come together, they're going to hear us. Look at all of us here right now. Look at the difference that we can make. like I said, I appreciate y'all and I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. This is the beginning, this isn't the end. They gonna get us and we gonna fuck shit up.
That's a great segue to the pastor here. hey, listen, we heard it before. We probably said it before too. So, hey, let's get real. We're gonna be real. Hey, we ain't out in front now, are we?
No.
Ain't no time for that. We ain't got no time in front. Okay, no, ain't no time for that. No time for that. All right, I'm gonna ask Pastor Tremaine. Come on, Pastor Tremaine, come on. He had a Facebook Live today. He had a dynamic message that he put there, and I asked him to come and share it tonight. Also, Chief Blindmeister should be here shortly.
He's over there.
He's over there. Okay, there he is. And, you know, I've worked, let me say this before Pastor Tremaine comes. About several years ago, after another killing, I called Chief Blindmeister and the Lincoln Police Department together for a series of community conversations. I knew they were apprehensive at first. They thought I was bringing them into harm's way. They thought I was coming into the community so the community could rail on them. And so they were a little apprehensive at first, but you know what? They came. They came to every conversation. They heard what every citizen who had something to say had to say. They look it and they took it. They took it. 5 years later or so, we're still in conversation. We still have a relationship that's quite different than in most other cities. Okay? It's very rare where you can actually just call the chief of police and say, hey, what's going on? Right. What's happening? So we have that relationship, and we want to maintain that relationship. And so they changed their training. They changed a lot of things. But you know what? For us to think for a moment that what happened in Minneapolis can't happen here, we'd be fooling ourselves.
You're right.
We'd be fooling ourselves. Now, we would think it wouldn't, but you never know. That man didn't have any heart who did that the other day. He lost his mind. And so we want to make sure that we keep the relationship. So I invited the chief. And you know what? I imagine there are people here that say, you know what? I got fuck the police back over there. I said it. But you know what? He's here. And he's going to say his piece. So I trust that you'll respect him for that. Let him say what he's got to say. And then the rest is the rest. All right? Pastor Tremaine, you come and then we'll have the chief come. Come on. Give him a hand here. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Let's give our sister another hand clap, please. I know y'all can do better than that. First things first, before I get into this statement that I made, I want to say that I'm not here simply because Pastor John Harris asked me to give a statement. I'm not here because I'm a pastor. I'm here because my ancestors fought for this. I'm here because my father in Southern University in the 1970s fought for this. I'm here because in Ferguson, I fought for this. And I'm here so that my children, my sons and my daughters don't have to fight again. It makes no sense from 1619 to 2020, we are fighting the same battle.
It needs to end.
So let me just get into what I came here to say. As I think about the most recent death of a black person at the hands of law enforcement, this time in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the uprising and rebellion it has caused, I grapple with how to hold my composure and my calm. Not just because this is the fourth black person in as many weeks to lose their life at the hands of those who are currently employed or have been employed by the legal system. Not simply because, once again, my social media feeds have been inundated with the pictures of dead black bodies. Not simply because, once again, I am tasked with calming the fears of my children who have become fearful of me leaving the house to do even the most mundane of errands. Not simply because of the anxiety that comes from reliving my own harrowing experiences with police, starting here in Lincoln, Nebraska, as early as the 9th grade.
not because seeing the pain of people sick and tired of being murdered by those called to serve and protect on the raw display causes me to remember the Ferguson Rebellion, where the terror of the mix of police escalation and the raw emotion of those whose protests at times had to break the boundaries of perceived civility to be heard has left an imprint on my very being. It's none of these things by themselves that have caused me to have the last few days be hard. It is the fact that once again we are here in the first place. Once again, with frightening regularity, we are back at this critical juncture of justified rage and domestic terrorism perpetuated by members of law enforcement. That the emotion and pain of this moment leaves many wondering what is to be done. It's at this point I have to give full disclosure. I am Christian by hope and clergy by vocation. Because of these things, my first response is to turn to the tools of the Christian faith for peace and sustenance of heart in trying times. And please make no mistake, brothers and sisters, these are trying times. I have repeatedly returned to the scriptures in this moment, but with all that I have read, the only scripture that has stayed in my heart and stayed on my mind has been Jeremiah 8:20, which reads, "The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved." The context of this verse is the pain of a nation that due to the sins of inequity, inequality, mistreatment of the poor, miscarriages of justice, and piety that is on display in worship but never makes it to the street or the marketplace, has entered into a season of travail and judgment. In response to this, the prophet Jeremiah describes the pain of nothing helping to stave off the actions of a nation swiftly moving to self-destruction. This verse in Jeremiah is not simply a prophetic oracle, my friends, but the wail of a heart burning for God's righteousness, understanding that the disease that infects the heart of Judah is deeper than symptomatic fixes and placations. The infection is deeper. The wounds are deeper. Therefore, moments of harvest and seasons that should be marked by rest and leisure are not going to solve this problem. Prosperity nor privilege will solve this problem. Only a deep reflection, introspection that is mingled with true repentance within the heart of a nation will solve this crisis.
Amen. Yes.
Parallels of the historical context of this verse and the current national climate of the United States of America is unnerving. This is a nation that, despite the effects of recent years, still holds amounts of power and prestige that are yet unknown in many parts of the world. We are a nation where our prosperity has made the poorest of us still among the richest in the world within the standards of relative poverty. We are a nation where our military prowess is unmatched by many developed nations. We are a nation whose prestige, though eroding, is the envy of many. But none of these things will solve the haunting issue of the consistent murder, mistreatment, and mishandling of black persons by those sanctioned in our culture and society to serve and protect with force if necessary. I think we all understand what the issues are. There is no need to rehearse the effects of chattel slavery upon the cultural memory of this nation and our black population. There is no need to rehearse the still lingering effects of segregation, redlining, and mass incarceration. There is no need to lift up here the effects of domestic terror through Klan actions, lynching, and other forms of violence in the support of white supremacy upon the black hearts, black bodies, and black psyches. There is no need here to discuss at any great length the use of police as means of domestic colonization to patrol and confine black lives and aspirations. At this point, we must be agreed, if you're going to work with us, that racism is a thing. We must be agreed that white supremacy is a thing, and the benefits of white privilege is a thing. Encounters with law enforcement are much more dangerous for black people who look like me than any other group is a thing. What is necessary now is what will be done. What are we to do? What are we to do with the truth that even with more than 200,000 black bodies fighting to preserve the union of this great nation, with wading through the broken promises of Reconstruction, with forgiving through the horrors of the black nadir like the Red Summer of 1918, with keeping the light of industry shining in the North with the great migrations from the slavery of sharecropping in the South, with calling the nation to make good on the promissory note that all are created equal by God through the civil rights movement, with the giving of our culture even when our culture is not respected by the people who steal it. Even the election of the first black president whose very citizenship was maligned by a president who couldn't even serve in the armed forces. We can also say the harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved. Through chattel slavery, mass disenfranchisement, the rise of Jim Crow to mass incarceration, we can also say that the harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved. But again, what is there to be done? What can we do? Perhaps the issue lies in seeing us, your black brothers and sisters, as human beings, in seeing us as persons. It is troubling to note that our most recent brother lost, George Floydd, moved to Minneapolis from Houston, Texas, for a better life. But he died behind a supposed fake $20 bill, knowing his killer. He moved to Minneapolis with a history of Christian charity, but was killed by a callousness that can only be described as satanic and demonic. There is no time to detail, however, the amazement that I have that Breonna Taylor died sleeping, or Ahmaud Arbery died with even the district attorney alluding to the fact that he should not have resisted two undeputized white men with shotguns. There is no time to discuss Sean Reed dying with his live stream still rolling and recording the callous remarks of police. Clearly, we are not seen as persons by some. That's a good start, perhaps, but it cannot end there. In the end, the racism, prejudice, and mistreatment of black people that black people face at the hands of those empowered by the spirit of white supremacy is not our issue. It's not our problem. It is the issue of those who benefit from white supremacy directly. Yes. They must do their own work. But perhaps what must be done also lies in us as black people, beginning to make our communities, often systematically wasted and systematically uprooted, great again. In us being willing to step forward and protect one another. Perhaps it is in us coming quickly to the understanding that we have the choice to die separately, in bits and pieces, or we can die together, loving one another, cherishing one another, comforting one another, and preserving the lives of one another. Not out of vengeance, not out of anger, not simply out of a justified rage, but a deep love for my Lord teaches me greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. To be honest, I don't know what to do. This piece is not about providing a platform for solution. I'll leave that to people smarter than me. As a Christian in this season of Pentecost, I believe that will come as the Spirit gives utterance. As I said, I am a Christian. And I rest in the hope of the God who knows what it's like to be marginalized, who knows what it's like to be mistreated, who knows what it's like to be misused, and who knows what it's like to be murdered. I trust, however, that murder and misuse will not be our final chapter, since my God also knows about the power of resurrection. This piece is to provide and register my lament at the continued and regular murder and mishandling of black bodies, especially by those who took an oath to protect and serve. This is the register of my utter disdain at those within law enforcement, not all, but most assuredly some, who see their sacred oath to serve and protect as a license to wound and kill. It is to register the truth that while there is power in recording interactions with the police, this is quickly losing the effect of deterrence. More is needed. More must be done. At some point, we must do more than point smartphones in the direction of murder. Police officers must lose the mystique that allows them to murder on screen. We must lose the thought that pressing record is all that needs to be done. Now, this is not to malign the teenage girl that recorded this murder. Her act was one of bravery. But yet, we would never be content to simply record the murder of a person by anybody else. And I'm wondering, why must we allow police to hold that privilege? At some point, we must become nationally introspective, recognizing that we are not yet saved. And at some point, we must do more than press record. Yet introspection within our national heart and soul is not enough. There has to be repentance too. We must see these events as beyond the pall of acceptable behavior. We must not simply try them for murder after the fact, but engage in rigorous training and testing and continued education that weeds out those who think that such behavior is acceptable before they murder somebody else.
Well spoken, well spoken.
Only then, in my estimation, will we be able to wrestle with and put a stop to the murder of black persons in violent encounters with law enforcement. But something must be done, and done quickly, or we will continue to lament. The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved. Black lives! Matter! Black lives! Matter! Black lives! Matter!
That's fine. You got that thing. You can say something. This is Pastor John, a friend of mine, Pastor John Goldrich from Newman United Methodist Church. And he's a licensed, he can tell you all that stuff.
I had not planned on saying anything this evening, but since I have a mic in my hand, I will say something. I will say this. There is a difference between us being angry and outraged at what's going on and us being violent. Anger, we have a right to feel. We should feel it in regards to what's happening in our country today. Violence is not acceptable. It is turning a feeling into an action that does not lead to a result that brings change. Stay with the idea of we are angry, we lose our power when we get violent. And I will tell you, when you get violent, all people see is your actions. They don't understand what's behind those actions, what you're trying to get across. Be angry. Be in unity with each other. Do not let this end. I am so pleased to see this many young people together. At 62 years old, I lived through the old Civil Rights Union. I lived through it. And I thought I wouldn't have to see some things that I'm seeing today, but I am, and I'm so glad the young people are standing up, both black, white, whomever, coming together and making a difference. Stay strong, be angry, but stay away from violence.
He's a licensed psychologist at the university, so he deals with anger and mental health and all that stuff all the time. I told you that about 5 years or so ago, the chief and I met. I called him into the community, him and the Lincoln police officers, to face the citizens. He was new on the job, had just come from West Point, Nebraska, and I said, I want you to know what the people in Lincoln, how they feel about life in the city. I want you to be a part of an ongoing conversation that we must have to develop police-citizen relations. There was some apprehension at first. Am I calling them out into the street for people to rail on them? Why am I doing this? Well, you know what? They came. Chief came, the police officers came, and they listened to the citizens time and time and time again. And so I said, you know, if we're going to be here tonight, it's wise to have the chief, the head man of our police department here to talk to the citizens again. All right. So apart from that disrespect, the rest of us are going to respect to hear what he has to say. All right. All right. So, Chief.
Let him talk.
We're going to identify the folks. All right. We're going to do the best. Do the best you can. If it gets too crazy, don't worry about it.
If we don't let the police get in on this, we want to hear the police talk.
That's right.
John, I want to thank you for the invitation to come out here tonight to listen to these powerful messages. And I want to share just a couple things. We share your outrage. There's absolutely, it's unexplainable, inexcusable, the murder that we saw in Minneapolis. And it disheartens me for our profession and to so many good people that do the right thing for the right reasons when nobody's looking. I also want to say that I depend on John and so many others to understand things, to learn about things that in no way can I completely ever experience, right? John said, I grew up in West Point, Nebraska. I went to Nebraska Wesleyan. I have not walked in the footsteps that many of you have walked in. And I need people to be able to provide their perspective so I can understand, so I can share those experiences with our officers.
Hey, quick question, sir. The dude that ran over my sister last night, how come you didn't catch him? How come you didn't put him in handcuffs?
What happened to those two women? What are you doing for them?
Let me say this: if you want to talk to the chief in a minute, let him finish his comments. He'll step right around the corner.
Hey, she's right there too. Talk to her.
Okay. So when this is done,
why didn't you talk to her?
She's one of the ones that got ran over. Guess what? She's listening because she wants change.
Yeah. So when he's done here, if you want to have a word with him over on the side, rap with him. Okay. Okay. So he's going to finish, and if you want to rap, if he's got time to rap with you, he'll do that. Okay, but we brought him here tonight. He didn't have to come. He came to talk with you and to share his thoughts. So let me say this. The other police officers that I get to talk to, they are outraged by what happened to George Floydd. They didn't want no part of it. It is a stain on the profession. So again, I'm going to take a few more minutes, and then we'll move on.
Thank you for coming up, and I will talk with your sister after. So, as John and many others have said, please use this as a podium. Use it to change. Work with us. Help us understand. But please don't go towards violence because it detracts from the overall message.
Understand white supremacy. We did this 5 years ago.
John, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. I really do. But, hey, if y'all want to say F12, do that later. I conducted this protest today so it could be peaceful. Not like last night, like how it was at 3 in the morning. I don't like the police, just like y'all don't. But right now, shut up and let them talk. Wait until after we march. But right now, I conducted this shit so we could peacefully protest. I did not conduct this shit so y'all can interrupt people when they are talking. Because I am not every single fucking day. I don't like the police just like y'all do, but let them talk. Be quiet. Listen. I feel you. I am but I did not conduct this so we could be violent right now. I did not want violence to occur right now. I wanted people's voices to be heard, and it is disrespectful to me that I was fucking protesting until 5 a.m. in the morning. I didn't sleep. I got home at 6, went to work, started planning this so everybody could come by here and have their voices be heard. I know y'all don't like the people that are here right now, but be quiet for 2 seconds and let us down later. Please. Yeah, with that being said, we about to march. I'm about to go that way. We about to take the streets. We too big. We not doing sidewalks. We not doing sidewalks. We walking on the whole street. So if the traffic don't want to stop, we're going to fight the traffic. So let's start walking that way. And let's let these people hear us right now.
Thank you, All right. Y'all be safe out there on the march.